What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of R&R. As always, I'm Logan.
I'm Ethan, and today we're going to be going over defensive handgun for beginners. We're going to be going over just pretty much everything from the ground level up, but we're going to go over a little bit of, proper grip, proper stance, just the small fundamentals. We're not going to go in depth on anything. We're going to talk about trigger pull, trigger press, all that stuff. But and one of the things too is just to start out, just we're doing this whole tabletop thing to begin with, is something you'll see that we have a common denominator on 4 out of the 6 guns is having a weapon mounted light. Your biggest thing is in a self-defense situation, you got to be able to PID, positive identification. So it's kind of hard to do at night if you don't have something to illuminate or if you don't have night vision or whatever. So if you are carrying a pistol without a light, it would be very prudent for you to carry a handheld light and to practice shooting with that handheld light. There's just been too many situations where somebody uses a gun for a defensive situation, or they think a defensive situation ends up not being a defensive situation. Somebody loses their life for no reason. So that's one thing is make sure you have a good weapon light. The other thing is holster recommendations. You've got to decide where you want to carry. Is to have a good holster, spend the money, get a good holster, and to get a very good weapon belt. So a gun belt, something that's very rigid, because that's the difference between having a gun be comfortable and a gun not be comfortable. And if you're not comfortable, you're not going to carry your gun. You're going to end up leaving the house without it and just make excuses.
And you could also say, well, I can off carry, or off body carry.
Yeah, throw in a purse or a bag.
Purse or a book bag, which it is, a possibility, but that's that extra 5 to 10 seconds of, having to unzip it, pull it out, get it ready, whatever else.
And somebody can possibly steal that bag.
Yeah.
So, so that's just kind of some of the beginning stuff. Now we're going to get a little bit more speed into it. So,
right.
So once again, not going sit crazy fast. Get that first good shot, then just walk. Don't cross your feet. But when you're doing this, your sights or your red dot, whatever it is, as you're moving, your gun makes a figure 8. And the whole goal is in the middle of the figure 8 is where you break the shot at. So you kind of have a natural resting spot, like as you're walking. So focus hard on the target. If you've got a dot, if you've got iron sights like he is, focus hard on the front sight. All right, guys, so this is a little bit above beginner stuff that we've been kind of doing today, but it's something that's still very important to know, because if you're in close to somebody and you have to draw your gun, when you press that gun into the target, you got a dead trigger because it's out of battery. So the first time you do this, it's kind of scary, but you're gonna take your thumb, put it on the back of the slide, push the slide into battery, pull the trigger, rack it, because there's gonna be an empty shell casing in your chamber, and continue to shoot. Threat.
So I'm gonna grab my gun, come through, can't, shoot. Obviously, the gun did not cycle, so I come back, I rack, 2, 1, 1.
But so drawing the gun, pressing in, same thing like he was saying. This has a little more standoff due to the Surefire, so I'm actually going to have to can it in. But yeah, so this is a good thing to practice, and you guys might not have a range where you can do this. So if that's the case, take a class where you have an instructor that has an area that you can do this kind of thing.
All right, guys, we're gonna go over a little close retention. Like we showed in the short, I know there was kind of some mixed feelings about it. The short kind of represented just the worst case scenario possible. That you can't create space, you can't back up, they're coming at you, they're on top of you, something like that. I know a lot of people are probably gonna say, oh, this and that. I get it. There's multiple scenarios, there's multiple solutions for multiple scenarios. But today, right now, we're gonna go over if you could make space, if you did have space, if someone came close to you to where you could back up, we're gonna go ahead and put our hand up, blocking from blade, bows, whatever it is, just to keep that space from the attacker. I'm gonna go ahead and draw, keep it close to my body, making sure that my hand is out of the muzzle. I'm not flagging myself. I'm not downrange with my other appendage or nothing like that. I'm gonna go ahead, draw, keep it close. I'm gonna slightly turn, blade away, and put rounds on. And then after that, still coming with my hand close, and then I'm gonna grab my pistol, push out, and follow up with more rounds. So we're gonna go slow.
Start.
I'm gonna grab it here. I'm gonna blade away. I'm gonna put 2 down, come back with my hand, push out, put 2 more down. Now we're gonna go a little quicker.
Start. Start.
And also, as I'm shooting and as I'm engaging, I'm trying to create even more distance while backing up. That way you just create as much distance as you possibly can. As long as you draw and you keep on putting them rounds down and you create that space.
All right, guys. Well, today we went over some different drills that we like to do to stay brushed up on defensive handgun skills. We didn't do anything that was too crazy, I don't think. I think maybe the hardest thing that we did as far as range dependency and how comfortable you are as a shooter is going to be the close retention stuff. For that, I mean, it would be awesome if you could go out and take a class. I know there's a lot of good instructors out there. There's ECQC, Extreme Close Quarters Combat. That's a really good one for if somebody's in close, grabbing onto you. That's a bit of a more advanced class. It has a lot of BJJ and handgun and a lot of sim stuff. But just for the average shooter, just some of the drills that we kind of practiced and showed today, we got moving. So the whole point is with, in a self-defense situation, isn't necessarily running as fast as you can, stopping, trying to shoot. It's always a good idea to be able to move. So if you are in a defensive situation and somebody's shooting at you, now all of a sudden they're shooting a moving target. They're not shooting at just a standing target that's not moving. So those are kind of some of the things that we did as far as the figure 8 drills with the barrels, the figure 4 drills. A lot of those also are simulating getting stress in the body, getting your heart rate up, getting you breathing heavy. So then all of a sudden your gun is moving around. You're really having to fight to try to track the dot and stuff. So I really hope you guys got something out of this. This is just the first of many that we could do in this series if anybody's interested. So I mean, this is basic defensive handgun. We could also do some basic defensive rifle, basic defensive shotgun if need be.
Intro to long range or something like that.
Intro to long range. I've got a lot of experience with long range shooting. So I mean, I could definitely do that. So let us know down below what you guys think as far as what you'd like to see next. If you want us to do a part 2 of this, some more advanced drills or what have you.
Yeah, and just kind of going with what he said, biggest thing is get out there and train.
Without a doubt.
Get out there and train. If you're still a novice shooter, go spend some money on some ammo. Don't worry about tricking your gun out or doing all this other stuff to it. Get out there and train. You're not going to know how to run your gun unless you
run your gun.
But with that, guys, we love the support that we've been getting over now with both channels. Good, bad, comments, it doesn't really matter to us. Traffic is traffic for us, and we do appreciate each and every one of you. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. It really doesn't, because it just helps us grow. And we enjoy doing this. I mean, we really do.
Oh, yeah,
even when it's
fun.
105 degrees out today and we're sweating like crazy. But
it's definitely a hot one today.
But with that being said, guys, as always, please like, comment, subscribe,
and we'll see you guys next time with your daily dose of R&R.
We'll see you guys.